Coming back to Aorta, one of my favorite maps. It's gonna be a while before I get enough of this, and my PC handles it pretty well. So it's less pain and suffering on those onto whom I'm hosting matches. The lobby's already being shocked and awed at the weirdness of Aorta. That's something else. I think this is an odd enough map, and it's not played very often. Unlike perhaps Yukon or Salar or the Rift or the Belt. Because it is so odd that people aren't used to it and they don't really know what to do on it, which makes for some pretty interesting games. So I'm gonna keep hosting on this pretty regularly. I think I won't host on it as hard as some people host on Pillars, but I like them. Team 1, ANS. Team 2, OSP. Everybody's ready to go except for Rome, Egypt. Oh, there we go. The spread was pretty good. Had some banter in the lobby about how battleships are crap out of some of the OSP players, specifically the Pope. And everybody give a welcome to the Pope, who has graced us. There we go, Pope. Careful Crusader, who's graced us with his presence. Got a Axford with torpedoes in it. Now hybrids. 15 of them. Some guns, robust point defense, and a E-War escort. Okay. Crime skin. I don't know about that. With some Mark IIs, probably more hybrids. Yeah. Panique. That might actually be some anti-Mark II AMMs? I'm not sure. Just with a name like that, that would be my guess. Bullseye, which is good. A lot of guns, a lot of guns. And robust anti-missile small. Man, with all of that might not be AMMs. That could be direct fire. We've seen that before. Rome, Egypt. More gun voxels with hybrids in them. And some scouts. Pinard, Spotlight, Blanket. Oh, those might be semi-actives. Interesting. And a battleship. Hey, big battleship. Hey, big show. Stonewalls, defenders. This boy's practically going to be immune to missiles, at least if he's gets a long enough sight line on him. A lot of guns. Just big guns. We're poking holes in big ships. Doesn't look like there's too many big ships on the OSP team. Although those would be pretty effective against monitors. You really do want 450s against monitors. Alright, we got one railgun plus a couple cannons. Small cannons on the side for swatting away scouts, I guess. On this Ocello, that could be highly effective against that battleship. Doesn't look like anybody has any good sightlines except for on that Axford. Scout. Plasma and a mass driver. Odd combination. And a T-30. Very odd combination. I'm not sure what the plan is with that. And same thing over here. So it can engage at any range, though not super effective at any of them. We've got a container ship, which is already firing decoys. Watch out. A couple clippers, presumably to freak someone out that they're about to get rocketed by rocket shuttles. What do you have with you? A whole slew of different kinds of containers. Jab hook, decoy, haymaker. This guy's a boxer, or at least enjoys boxing to some extent, or maybe just likes naming things clever things. I post Sam Perry's. Ooh, the Pope is bringing roll-offs. The Pope is going to brutalize the ANS team in Aorta because there are some really tight quarters in here. You can dodge PD if your opponent is not being careful and doing something like this. That's a recipe for disaster right there. I think that might be information and just caught on that rock. That happens time to time. Loose formation is what you want to be flying your ships in. It's tight, well, can do that. OSP is going to have a slight speed advantage getting on the point. Although if these engage this whole armada of voxels, they're going to... That's not what I want. They're going to have a big problem because these voxels have rebounds. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Rebounds. A lot of rebounds. Those are quite good against size 2 missile spam. Defenders are less good, but could give it the extra little oomph to prevent anything from getting through this. Solomon is just... I don't know. I think he's... I mean, if these missiles get fired at... So this was the player who was complaining that large ships are completely useless. And I've seen Pope... In fact, I've recorded a game with Pope in him before, who... he played a large beam ship and it did pretty poorly. So we might see him fire off a whole bunch of Mark IIs at this, which would be a big problem because these stone walls will absolutely annihilate Mark IIs, especially if he can get good angles. Although if he stays on top of this rock like this, that could spell disaster, because if those came out and looped around from behind, there is no PD coverage back here. There can't be. The engine's too big. It's in the way. It's obviously way too early to be guessing at any of that, but that's not going to stop me. I got to fill this time somehow. Setting up. This Axford is spoiling for a fight. Sitting out in full view of the sun. Pointing towards the sun. Might be looking for a fight with the sun. Axford players are unhinged. You never know what they're going to get up to. Rail ship. Just looking around. Just looking. Keeping an eye on things. No fighting happening just yet. No one's going for Alpha. It's been mined off. I don't think those mines are in great positions. I don't think they're going to catch anybody out, but they will provide scouting. Now, the mine's on the other side of this. Oh, yeah. If anything climbs over the top there, it's going to be in big trouble. Doesn't look like anybody's going for that right now, though. Oh, I shouldn't cast games when I am half asleep. I can already tell I'm doing a way better job right now than I was in a couple of the previous videos where I was very tired. And apparently that has an influence. As much as I enjoy watching games, I don't know, maybe we'll upload them, maybe we won't, we'll see. Alright, so we got the Panic coming out here. So that's obviously... Oh, a Grazer? In a shuttle? How? How do you have the electricity for that? Small reactor. Yeah, wow. Just extra reactors, a yard drive in a shuttle is an interesting one. No early warning radars coming out of the OSP team. No cones of doom coming out of anyone on the OSP side. Jammer lighting this guy up. Solomon still slowly creeping into battle. On flank speed, in fact, not that slow. Took a hit in the berthing? I'm not sure what happened there. I must have missed it. Presumably these mass drivers, monitors, popped a shot at it. Ooh, some missiles going out. Coming up through that Echo porthole. So can confirm whatever this guy's bringing is aggressive. Type 3. Oh my. Flare check. I guess those are Wake homers. That's gonna be one of these out. No restores. Yeah, you're done, buddy. You might be able to get a few launches off, but you're gonna have to do that soon. Very soon. Before the rest of your ship burns down, which is happening rather quickly. One more panique coming out, but we saw what happened last time. You just fire one of those, it's going to get grazed. See you later. Axford doesn't look like it's engaged in anything just yet. Still just moseying around at flank speeds. The Solomon is gun-centric. Yeah, so it doesn't want to get right up in there, but it does want to get close enough for the guns. Some good good tracks. Voxel team coming around the outside. Some going around, some going over. AMMs. Mine containers. More coming out. So this guy, the flare check, hybrid 3s in a sprinter is actually a great idea. Very counterintuitive. It's... Ooh. Yeah. Doesn't care about that chaff, buddy. Okay, so that's out. Those roll-offs are firing. Looks like they've been track fired at these voxels. I don't know if these are semi-actives. They've got illuminators, so they might be semi-active. Because there's not an illuminator fire. Okay, this illuminator is now firing. Ooh. That's right. This is, I mentioned this earlier, this is the group with all the... No, this is not the group with all the flak. Defender fired too late to get an affix onto these missiles, so they're all just going off into the Great Wild Blue yonder. Or a... got a reddish, blackish, tealish, purplish yonder. Yeah, that rolls off the tongue very effectively. And I have a feeling Pope's gonna get... I don't know. What do they do to popes when they die? You get cremated? You get buried? I don't know. This is gonna get popinated. Popped. There we go. By this voxel team. Rome, Egypt. Yeah, this guy's down. This guy's running low. Rome, Egypt has disconnected. I don't know why I keep getting all of these connection errors. It doesn't seem to be every match, but it's certainly not on every player. I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on their end. I would assume it's on their end since it's only some people and only sometimes. I think my internet's stable enough right now that that's not too much of an issue, or shouldn't be too much of an issue. Axford coming out this top porthole. He's not going to find much up there other than a face full of mass driver shots. As long as these aren't too busy on the voxels anyways. I've also been seeing a lot of disconnects in games that I haven't hosted and games that I've just joined and participated in. So yeah, I think it's on the player's side. Glonk. Glonk. Oh man. This dedicated missile fleet is ironically getting missiled down by a gun fleet. In fact, the very sort of fleet this missile fleet should be able to deal with, because they've got defenders but not much in the way of AoE defense. A huge volume of roll-off spam should be able to absolutely annihilate those couple voxels over there. But that just did not come out in time. Oh boy. Yeah, these mass drivers are going to be distracted. This Axford might be able to get a good angle on him. Looks like one of his guns sees something. Oh, and more of those Mark IIs heading up towards this fleet. I think this is going to have enough PD. No, it is not. A couple of Pavises on each of these might be enough. Where do those go? There you are. Oh boy, here comes the containers. Mines have spread around pretty decently. These containers looks like they're going towards these voxels down here. AMM's coming out. Gunfire, yeah, that's going to be handled. He's getting illuminated for another volley of roll-off. But I don't know if there's really that much left here to volley. Yeah, not particularly. AMM's going to be slamming directly into the wall. Or... oh, these aren't AMMs. They're just small missiles. And they've got... ooh, not quite enough maneuverability. So that's going to be able to cap Alpha pretty much uncontested. Though it's probably going to give its life for it if this Axford can... no, it's still just... still heading up to the top of the map. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of containers. Point defense is handling it quite effectively. Although those mass drivers might be able to take some out. Yeah, that's one rebound that's been heavily damaged by those mass drivers. Which could spell disaster.
The enemy is securing zone common.
Ooh. That's one connect. Right in the side of the belly. I think there's going to be 3 more right into this voxels. Midships keel. Oh my, and a whole volley goes into this voxel. Crimeskin's fleet is, they're not out, but they're definitely down for the count. They're going to need some time to regroup and repair, and they are absolutely not going to get it. Containers missing. Just going off into the void. That's unfortunate. Can I see? No, I can't see how they're tracking things. Unfortunate. Because oftentimes in the tactical map, you can see the cones of your own containers as well as allied missiles. Can't see that in spectator mode, though. This Keystone's going down. Didn't even get a chance to fire its beam off. These voxels are further being hit by the plasma. Yeah, fire your missiles now while you can. You're not going to have much more opportunity to get them off.
The enemy secured zone common.
Looks like he's firing both sets of missiles. And this monitor fleet has been mostly wiped up. I don't think these AMMs are going to be able to catch these. Not if they go into the sprinter stage. These might, though. Oh, yep. Unless these aren't AMMs and they're being direct fired at the opposing ships. No, they're just AMMs that have lost their target. Ah, well. Few connects on this monitor. Oh, that's HEKP. That's going to completely shred the internals of this monitor. Its mass driver is still functioning, but a surprising amount of damage control for a monitor. These are strong little ships. I see them used like Reigns, but they're really like better Keystones. And I stand by that. I think they are just a straight upgrade over the Keystone. Partially because of their size and the fact that they can be easily discounted as a target. You see that and you're like, this is just a shitty little cargo ship. I'm not that worried about it, but they're actually pretty dangerous. Whereas you see a Keystone, it's a very high priority target. Those destroyers just do a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. If you let them. If you let them. Crimeskin's gonna be out of here. Unsurprising, his voxels have been festooned with cargo containers. Looks like there's another celebration incoming to this group. But the angling on some of those is kind of off. They're going to fly right by. But not all of them. Uh-oh. Your point defense is on the top of your ship. That's a big problem. Yeah, it's another hit direct to the keel. But this lower voxel is saving the day. Looks like they're going to be able to take out all these mines. If these can come in at the right angle, that can be a hell of a time. Sprinter's trying to jam, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Those might not even be radar. I mean, they probably are, considering how many of them he brought. But depending in on what they home in on, it might be anti-radar. Oh yeah, they're smelling that Sprinter. Glonk. Ooh! Only 2 hits on this latest volley. And that might be all that gets through. Defenders are pretty good. Very nice work. Got that angled around. Another volley coming through from another angle. How many more of these does this container ship have? Not that many. Not that many. Got 9 left. And is out of everything else. And 7 of the jabs. Axford's finally made it on top of the map. But is rather noticeably not pointing at anything. Got some hybrids coming in to that monitor fleet. But the last blast of hybrids, they handled just fine, though this is certainly a larger volley. And it's coming in at an odd angle. The point defense might not be able to handle this from that angle. Putting fire down here on Rome Egypt's fleet. Oh my. More containers incoming. Surely that is the last of those. Oh, and those hybrids are staging quite a bit earlier than the other ones were. And it's gonna get through. That's 1 hit on the Ocella right in the middle. And might just be 1. Yeah, just 1. Still did pretty good damage down that center stack where all the important things are. It's anybody's game at this point. OSP's got the cap lead, or the other team. ANS has the cap lead. The blue team. Right, pack of hybrids incoming. Towards these guys. Those AMMs are probably going to handle them pretty effectively, though. Or not. Why would you go up there? A couple hits onto that container ship. That's not that big of a deal, because the container ship... This is not the container ship. This is not the container ship. That is a big deal. This is the cargo liner, which we didn't even look at because I'm a troglodyte, which has guns on both sides of it. It's also backed up with a gunned up Ocello and a scout tug. Good combination. It's not me, I swear. It's not my fault! Isn't this guy the fucking container player? No. About to say, it's you, man. Yeah, it's straight up just my GPU. Been struggling, which is weird. I haven't had any problems on Aorta thus far. I guess I just need to restart my computer every, like, 2 or 3 matches. Is, I think, the lesson here. Oh, man. Some strong hits on that Ocello. Glonk. Oh, that HEKP is so good. Oh, it's so good if you can get the lands off. It's very expensive. Oh, here's another one. Swoop. It's gonna miss. See you later. Oh, more missiles going into this fleet. OSP is definitely on the back foot right now. If the ANS can keep moving their sprinters around and capping points. Someone's taking Delta with a shuttle. This hero has gone all the way from the middle of the map over here without getting shot at hardly at all. Oh, volley fire, volley fire, volley fire. Track picture isn't that good. Yeah, most of that missed. I mean, this thing's already pretty dang beat up. There are a lot of misses in there. Counterfire coming out of the Solomon. Solomon's finally getting in the fight. The Pope is leaving us. Thank you for stopping by, Your Excellency. Or whatever you call the Pope these days. Guy. I think Guy is appropriately reverent. And it's dealing good damage. I don't know why it's dipping into cover. Because if it can get some sustain on these Ocellos, it can absolutely wreck them. Or this Ocello and this line ship, I should say. These frontline warriors, they definitely can't stand up to a Solomon in a straight gun duel. Is that RPF being fired at the Ocello? Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Don't fire RPF at the Ocello. Why? We've got an Illuminator. Not doing any illumination because it's being stopped by this. Some scouts on the top of the map. Axford's still just full burning on flank. Do you have raiders? Oh, yeah. No, it's not flank anymore. 16. That's a reasonable speed for an Axford to be going at. Oh boy. He's switched to other rounds. Looks like he's using HP now, which is just going straight through. Oh, it's just missing. I thought it was going through the ship, but no, it's missing. Well, that punched through. The upside down Ocello's getting into cover. Understandable. Have a great day. This Solomon is, that's not really a significant target. Azimut is unheavy about being shot. Let's take a look. What do you mean, how are you shooting me? He's looking at you. Ah, I see. He's got two jammers going down the field. But this guy doesn't realize that these guys have, oh, no, this scout is on his team. Yeah, I don't know, actually. They probably got him locked up beforehand. We can actually check on that. Yeah, he's been locked. So for those who don't know, if you've been locked, jamming won't do anything. The lock penetrates through the jamming. If you have a front line, which Ocellos can mount, you can also burn through jamming and lock up a target with a bullseye. And, yeah, then jamming won't work. I don't think I should tell him during the match, because that's... Yeah, we'll mention it after the match, maybe. Or after he blows up. Well, you can see he's been locked. Because everything I can see, they can see on their own ships. Oh, that's not a good sign. You don't know how to fly your own ship. Ooh, my. Although, to be fair, the ship mechanics of this game are quite esoteric. You really need to spend a lot of time watching games, like I've been doing, to understand how they work. Especially when it comes to getting mounts to fire on certain targets. And how the ship will auto-roll, how the AI will manage the ship. This is something I've only been able to figure out by watching all these games. Ooh, hits to the engineering section. So much damage control on this thing. What the hell? Looks like not enough crew, though. For that, we can actually see that up here. Well, I don't know if low crew will appear up here. That is what you want to use your RPF on. These tugs? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right into the reactor, right into the sun drive. This thing is going down fast. Rome Egypt's fleet still in it. Not piloted by him currently. Because he got DC'd for some inexplicable reason. That Solomon has got back into the fight. That's a big problem for this line ship. And the Ocello, which is getting the hell out of there. Another Ocello. I don't know what that's from. And it's going to make me crazy. And I'm never going to remember to actually look it up and figure out what that's from. Which is great. That Solomon appears to be firing HE-450s, which is a great decision. Yeah, that's what it's firing. Because otherwise you get punched through. Like that, but if you can get some HEs into the center section, then that happens. That's a lot of damage. Oh, man. It's a lot of restores on a line ship. But I don't know if the repair teams are going to be fast enough for them to matter. Especially if the drives get taken offline. That's a huge problem. 2 drives in this thing? Very nice. It's usually hard to fit 2 drives in an OSP ship because they're pretty power hungry. And the internals, you just don't have enough internals for the light reactors because they kind of suck. But this man has made it work. Looks like these voxels want to grab Alpha, and I think they're going to be able to. This one's not. It's dead. More specifically, it's dying, but it will soon be dead. If the Sprinter stays on Bravo, there's nothing this cargo ship can do. Scout out here. This fight is still going on. He's kind of backed off. Not sure if he's trying to get another angle on that or what. Alright, let's go look at something interesting. This getting blown to smitheroonies by a big old battleship which is driven across the entire map to get over here. This started over by Echo, if you remember, and just flew up here, went around here, came up on Bravo, and then has looped around again to hit, which is pretty much the enemy team's spawn. So good on you for flying that far. I think the Rolls headed towards Charlie and then Echo for capping, which is a great idea, actually. Winning the point game is what matters. At least it matters if you care about getting a victory screen. If all you care about is murder, then it's not what matters. But, you know, everybody likes different things. Fortunately, if this Sprinter can get out of sight... Ah, its drive's dead. So that's not going to be happening. So this has a free shot, although I mean, its radar is still working. This is still functioning as a spotter. So, does it have a radar on it? It's got radar panels. Does it have just a normal radar inside of it? No. So, never mind. It's not going to be spotting anything. Well, we'll visually spot this. You do have to have that component for those panels to work correctly. Oh my. I'd say we're gonna get a reactor bloom here before too long. I don't really want to be blinded by one of those again. Torpedoes coming in. This monitor team, they're not gonna do anything. This Axford has a very interesting setup going on. I think this Axford, yeah, this Axford capped alpha.
The enemy is securing
What?
clips.
Okay. And, the game is over. ANS wins. Just like that! Well, that was rather sudden and anticlimactic. Alright, if I can get into this AAR. Let's take a look. So, the Pope, how did you do? You didn't. That's real unfortunate. Azimut looks like is who got control of Romeo's fleet, which is his new name, not Rome Egypt. Sorry, it's Romeo. It has thusly been decreed. Grimeskin also didn't really do anything with this damage-wise. Who? Okay, so the Solomon did a lot. What the fuck? And that's kind of it. And Azimut did some, and Rome Egypt's fleets did a little bit. Oh, that's so weird. So low damage, but it just didn't matter. I guess it's partially because they're very light ships coming out of Team 2, but they didn't use the speed advantage to cap. They just sort of dueled, got waxed. It's really unfortunate these missile ships didn't get the opportunity to completely nuke half of the ANS fleet, because they absolutely would have done so given the chance. ANS was a little light on PD. Yeah, and the OSP ships didn't really do much damage either. Just a really low damage match overall. I don't think we saw a single reactor bloom. I mean, that line ship could have had one soon, but it didn't. That was a weird match on Aorta. I mean, matches on Aorta are usually weird. That's why it's such a good map. I hope you enjoyed. Good night.